was like, oh my God, I had one like that. And then I was like, wait, did I have one like that? Or do I remember watching this and wanting one like that?
Yeah.
I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Generation In Between, a Xennial podcast where we remember, revisit, relearn, and sometimes rewatch all kinds of things from being 80s kids and 90s teens. My name is Danny.
Hi, I'm Katie.
And we are continuing our rewatch of the Xennial cult classic, My So-Called Life. Sadly, only had one season, so we are watching 3 episodes per week and talking about what we watched. We're kind of pumped because Katie's never watched this show.
Nope.
I haven't rewatched this show ever. I've only watched it in real time back in the 90s. And we don't have to do research for like 6 weeks.
It's nice. It's a nice little break.
It is.
To be fair, I do love like the research and bringing you guys stuff, but it's kind of fun to just be like, oh, I'm just going to watch it and take notes and go.
Well, and also like life is really busy for both of us right now. It's like lots of overwhelming things happening
all at once.
And so it's nice to like, because we never want to like be like, oh God, I have to finish this stuff for the podcast.
Right.
We want to look forward to it.
Yes.
So this is kind of a good time for us to be like, all right.
To look forward to watching and writing down some things.
And Katie not only has her notes on note cards, but they're also written in like 3 different things.
Yeah. And I forgot. I must have left episode 4 at home. Oh, so I got it up here. So if you're new, or even if you're not, you may recall when Danny shamed me enough to stop writing my notes for like Dawson's Creek, I think it was, for the rewatches on the back of like old envelopes and stuff, and to get a single notebook for all my podcast notes that I put in my podcast
But Sarah
bag.
gave it to you.
And Sarah gave me one that was perfect.
The funny thing is, y'all, she has 60 bajillion notebooks.
That
it's
is
not like she
funny.
has a shortage of notebooks.
No.
She's got lots of notebooks and writing utensils and
so
things
many
to write in, and yet she doesn't use them. It's like
I use them, just not for this.
But this is what you should use it for. It makes no sense.
So I've been being really good and writing in my Made in the 80s mixtape notebook that I keep in my podcast bag. However,
which is not here, by the way.
Which is not here because I didn't need it because I didn't write in my notebook. It goes in the bag.
See, this is why you need a bag and a notebook, a designated purpose. And then that's what they do.
I agree.
She has her Mary Poppins bag instead.
I do.
One day we need to do a reveal of what's in your bag.
And just a random day. So I'm not prepared.
I'm not going to tell you.
All right. Can we not do it today, though? Okay. Because I don't want to today. We can do it another day.
Now I want to. Now I'm like, what's in there?
What's in there?
You guys just don't even know the stuff she pulls from this bag.
Yes. I'm laughing so hard. I had like a little phlegm thing. Sorry, everyone.
Always. So it's
sorry, everyone.
Things in there.
So I was traveling to Tallahassee. My husband was driving. So I'm like, this is the perfect time with my little headphones to watch. But I realized I didn't have my podcast bag with me. So what did I have in my Mary Poppins bag? Note cards.
For why?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
And so,
but yet you forgot one of them.
I forgot one. So I watched the first episode and just used a note card. But then when I was home to watch the next 2 episodes, I was like, well, I got to keep this note card thing going for this week. So I wrote the other ones on note cards, but I appear to only have 2 of the 3.
Why don't you just write on the back?
Because see how it's like this?
That bothers you. Meanwhile, why do you have, let me count. 1, 2, 3. Go to the next one.
Only one line. Yeah, what was I doing?
You guys, she has 4 different inks. One looks like a marker, and then the rest are pens of various colors.
Yeah.
What happens while you're in the middle of an episode and you run out of ink on 3 things?
I think what happened was we probably did like a pit stop, and I put everything away. And then when I pulled it back out, I just grabbed whatever. And then I didn't like that was black. So then I thought I was grabbing the same purple, but this is a different
You
purple.
have a lot of writing utensils of various natures.
You know what? Sarah gave me the perfect bag that I do carry in the Mary Poppins bag. That says, one side says Queens in like all the sequins. And the other side says are born in May. Because she's also born in May. So this queens are born in May. Freaking pencil case goes everywhere with me. It has all my markers.
For example of the things you find in her bag.
I will show it to you later.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
Thanks, guys, for being here to rewatch. So if there's any indicator as to why it's good that we're just doing this rewatch right now, that whole story,
true, honestly,
was an example.
That's very true.
Very true.
All right. Well, let's jump right in. So if you were rewatching along with us, this episode, we've got episode 2, 3, and 4. By the way, we're late with our episode release because of exactly like we said, life be lifing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's fine because guess what? We get no paycheck for this. We get paycheck for other things that have to come first.
So, that is true. Yes.
So we're here and we should be back on track later. We're going to record twice this week.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. We're going to get this live as soon as we can and hopefully be back on track for Monday.
Yeah.
For the next one.
You
won't even notice.
Well, maybe. Well, let's not give them false hopes. All right.
True.
So we're going to jump in. This is season 1, episode 2. It is titled Dancing in the Dark. I didn't think there were episode titles, but there are. So the pilot episode, I don't know what it was.
It was just pilot.
Oh.
They didn't start with songs till now. I think they're all song names from what I could tell. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not put that together.
Yeah, at least as far as I can tell looking at the episode.
Okay, well, if you know who sang the song, then say it. Well, Dancing in the Dark is Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen.
I said that really weird. Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen.
So, you know what I've been doing lately? And I've been catching myself doing this at work, and this is embarrassing. And they're probably like, this new girl is so weird. I will randomly say things with an Italian accent.
What?
I don't, like... I can't even think of an example right now. And then I'm like, that is weird. They're probably like, what is she doing? Like, Cullen knows me. That is somebody I'm working with who knows me through theater, and he's lovely and wonderful. So he knows she's weird, and she does weird stuff, and she's quirky. These people don't know me yet.
They're probably wondering, like, is that her true accent that just slips in now?
I wish I could think of an example, but like I just randomly do it. Guys, it's so stupid. Okay, here we go. In an elaborate ruse concocted by her new friend Rayanne, Angela agrees to work with Brian Krakow on a school project at his house. You are shaking that head.
And not for this episode so much, but I'm shaking my head at Brian for the next episode.
Oh, I know.
But we'll get to it.
I know.
Yes. I thought it was, I guess I didn't see the opening sequence the first time. Like the intro music with everybody's names and pictures.
I don't know if they had it the first episode.
I don't think they had it. So this was the first time I saw it. And I really liked it. But the mom gets the top billing. Did you notice that? She's the first face and name that they show.
I think they do it alphabetically.
Oh. That would make sense then.
Because her last name is what? It starts with an A, right?
I think it does.
An Armstrong or something? Bess Armstrong?
Yeah, because that would make sense because Claire Danes was like the 4th person.
Yeah, I think it's alphabetical.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, okay.
You got something in your eyebrows.
Guys.
Poor Katie's eyebrows.
I need to go get them.
No, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just you always.
I mean, those two things are unrelated. There is something in them now. Separately.
Right. Yeah.
I need to go get my eyebrows done.
Yeah. Okay.
Two separate things.
What's wrong with them?
They just need trimmed and plucked.
They look fine.
Well, I don't think so.
Well, okay.
All right, moving on.
So, okay, the beginning where she's talking about her kisses, her first kiss was a camp counselor. I was like, wait, was she a camp counselor? I don't think so.
No, it sounded like she was. I know. I wrote that down too.
Also, she was 14 filming all these scenes.
Right. So she would have been obviously younger than 14 when she kissed the camp counselor.
No, I mean in real life. But yes, also that.
Right. The kissing scenes.
Because I think in the show she's 15. But
right.
She was 14 in real life.
Right.
See, it's all these things you don't think about till later. And it's
later. I mean, yeah, it's interesting. It made me think about a story of me and a camp counselor. We didn't kiss. Don't worry, guys. But I remember going, my parents would let me go to this like Christian sleepaway camp. And
problems there already.
Right off the bat, I'll let you know nothing bad ever happened to me. So I'll say that. And I loved going. There was like a theater week. I would go. We stayed in cabins. It was a whole thing. It was fun. But maybe my second or third year that I went, so I was probably 12 or maybe 13, but probably 12. I had a counselor who wasn't in my cabin because he was a man, like a grown man, adult man. Probably in his early 20s.
Probably like a college kid.
Yeah. But I remember kind of having a crush on him. Not his fault if that was the case, obviously. But I remember him like spending a lot of time with me.
Ew.
And I thought about it later, like he would sit with me. At one point I sat on his lap.
A whole
thing. And then, again, nothing happened.
But still.
But I remember I went home and you give like everyone your address and you'd mail each other stuff. He mailed me a postcard or two. And my parents were like upset. Like the first one was like, oh, hope you had like, it was great being your counselor, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, who is this? Is this someone in your, and I was like, no, that was my counselor. I don't remember his name. And they were like, what?
Yeah.
Why is he sending you a postcard? And then he sent another one. And I think my dad followed up with him from there.
Whoa.
Like would have had to like write him or something. He wouldn't have had his phone number. And then the next year when I went, my dad went the same week as like a groundskeeper volunteer.
I'm surprised they let you go back.
I think he didn't want me to go back. And my mom was like, oh, but like, we don't really know. And like, she loves it and it's theater and blah, blah, blah. And I was homeschooled, so I didn't really have like theater opportunities. And so I think probably, I should ask my dad about this if he even remembers.
I'm
but
sure
I
he
think
does.
probably he said to my mom, well, then I'm going to.
Damn.
And that counselor wasn't there when I went back. But it made me think of it. Because I was like,
crazy.
I liked him so much and he made me feel so grown up.
See?
That if he had tried to kiss me or something, I probably would have.
I know. And that's, And see, that is grooming right there.
Yep.
And that's probably why he wanted to be a camp counselor.
And follow up with me after camp.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
See, this goes back to what we were talking about. Like, I can't think of a female that I know that was not, well, I don't remember when we were talking about this on an episode, that was not inappropriately approached or had something horrible happen. Thank God.
Right.
Nothing physical happened, but still emotionally you were being manipulated as a child.
It's funny because when people bring that up, like, oh, 1 out of however many women or every woman's had, I always think to myself, gosh, I'm lucky that that's never happened to me. And then as soon as I watched this scene, I was like, wait a minute. I remember that.
It's because we didn't realize. We didn't have language then.
Right.
That or awareness. We didn't have language or awareness then for the things we have now. And even our parents didn't understand.
Like they probably didn't even know how to follow up on that other than, well, you're not going alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and then you have shows like this that's like, oh, well, that's normal.
Yeah. That was weird.
I mean, again, like we say all the time, just because it was a different time doesn't make it okay.
Right. Nope, not at all.
Moving on from that, let me talk about her brown plaid flannel dress, which we see in a few episodes.
Yes, we do.
I was like, oh my God, I had one like that. And then I was like, wait, did I have one like that? Or do I remember watching this and wanting one like that?
Yeah.
I wish I knew.
I feel like I had one like that, but it was like an emerald green, or a forest green, like the same pattern, but like a forest green. I'm going to look for a picture maybe of that.
Yeah, I swear.
It's so cute. I want one now.
And it's funny, isn't it, now to see like the fashion on the show and now it's coming back as like vintage. It's hilarious.
My daughter Erin walked in the kitchen when I was watching these later and she was in the dress. So it was like the third episode or something when she had it on again. And she's like, what show is this? And I was like, oh, it's My So-Called Life. It's from the 90s. She's like, oh, I thought it was like a show now.
See?
And it was like a shot of Claire Danes in that dress. And I was like, no, it's just, I was like, the fashion's good though. And a lot of it's coming back.
Yeah, a whole lot of it.
She thought it was like now.
Oh my God, so
it was really funny.
So funny.
I just put Jared Leto speaks.
Oh yeah.
He actually talks.
Well, we find out in later episodes, which I don't know if you've started watching the other 3 yet.
I wanted to wait.
We find out why he doesn't say much in class.
Okay. So I'll find that out in the next 3?
Yeah.
Ish. Okay.
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
I like his voice though.
I know.
Like when he started talking, I was like,
yep. It's unfortunate that he's a creep.
It is really bad.
I mean, it's unfortunate that anybody anywhere is a creep.
Right. No matter what they look or sound like.
Correct.
Yes.
I put the dissection scene gross. Ew. Nasty. P.S.
Oof, it was gross.
In high school, we were supposed to dissect a frog and I did not want to do it. And I remember this was like probably around this time. It was like 94, 95. And I remember going to my teacher and I was like, I don't have to ethically do this. And he was like, I said, you have to give me an alternate assignment. And he's like, actually, I don't. So you can take an F or you can
He's like,
do
actually,
it.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. And Mr. Trigg was his name. He was a little bitty guy, mustache, bald head. I don't know why I remember him. He was very like spry. Like, you know, those teachers that like move around a lot.
Yeah.
And like, anyway, I'm trying to remember now my mom's reaction when I came home and was like, I don't want to do this. And I think her reaction was, well, you cannot get an F. Like,
figure
so
something
I
out.
don't approve of you getting an F for that.
Right.
Like, yes, alternate assignment, great, stand your haunches, but like you are not getting an F.
So one way or another.
And I would probably say that's what I got to do. But I was like, So anyway, I had to do it. But whoever I was partners with, I think had to do the majority of it because I was like,
God bless. Yeah.
Oof. Did you have to dissect stuff?
I remember dissecting a frog.
Yeah.
And a worm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, a worm.
Yeah. Where you just like cut down the middle. Yeah.
Listen, I'm not.
That's it though.
That did not teach me shit. I don't remember nothing I learned from that.
I did a rat too.
Oh, rat?
Yes. I just remembered that in biology in high school.
Oh my God.
Like a frozen rat.
You know what though? I feel like on the inside, you're probably really good at it. At science stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I remember it bothering me because they were animals and it made me sad that they had died.
But I feel like you're probably good at like the...
But I don't think I minded, like, once I got past that, like, okay, well, they're dead. I think I was fine.
I see that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're secretly, because you love true crime, I think you're secretly on the inside like a crime scene investigator person.
Oh, hey. Hey, there's still time.
I know. I think, look, another job
for Katie. There's always time for another job. That's what I always say.
Y'all blew my mind with the true crime stuff. Somebody at work was talking about that the other day. I was like, y'all are crazy. I just can't.
Y'all are crazy. Yes.
I don't know how y'all like that. Anyways, dissection scene. Oh, the mom. And I put the woman's dilemma of should I cut my hair? Literally me all the time.
Yeah.
And like nobody in the house cares. And they're like, don't cut it. Don't cut it. And then she's like, and literally from somebody who does change their hair, I haven't changed it in a while, but if you're asking that much, that means you want to do it.
Right.
And so like, even though they told her not to, she was like, I gotta fucking do it.
It didn't matter what they said at that point.
And she did. And honestly, who cares if what they think? I asked in my house this same exact question the other day. Let me tell you the responses. I said, hey guys, I think I might cut my hair short again. And I'm talking like chin length bob, okay? Not like shave my head. And I was like, do y'all think I should cut my hair? And Cooper goes, just shave it. Because he obviously did not want to be involved in the conversation.
Yeah.
That's first answer. Caden goes, so Caden, should I cut my hair? He just looked at me and goes, no. Okay. My husband, look at him. I said, should I cut my hair? And he goes, no. And he said, the only reason I say that is because I don't want to deal with the drama after.
You're not crying now. So maybe let's stay in that space.
I was like, okay, valid answers from everyone. Fine. But also,
I love it.
If I decide to do it, well, especially my new job, which I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about. There's a lot of sweating happening and a lot of like my hair being pulled back. And I'm like, for y'all that don't know me in real life, I sweat like so much. And I'm at that point where I'm like, is it easier to have hair that I can pull back, or is it easier to have short hair where there's not so much hair in the way? So
I think pulled back.
But that's because you don't ever have short hair.
True. I don't even remember what it feels like to have
that's
short
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because if it's so nice when you have short hair. And then now I have to wash my hair more because I'm sweating so much. And it takes so long to wash long hair. And then like last night, I was waiting for it to dry. And I have thin hair. I don't even have thick, luxurious hair. But it still takes a long time to like air dry. And I had to go to bed with wet hair. And then that's a whole thing. When your hair's short, it's like in, out, done. Like you can blow dry in 5 seconds.
True.
But we'll see. I'm gonna give it like a month, and then we'll see what I decide to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. What else do you have?
Oh, I like the part of what Angela says about how you know people from different circles, and it's weird when they interact. I don't feel that way so much now as an adult, but I remember feeling like that as a young person.
Oh, for sure. Like, my kids are like that.
Yeah.
My kids are
where it's like you've got your
that.
like theater friends, but then you've got your school friends, but then you've got your sport friends, and then there's like your neighborhood friends that maybe don't necessarily fit into any of those. I mean, it kind of comes out for like birthday parties and stuff. It's like, am I having a theater kid birthday party?
Yeah.
Or am I having a friends from school birthday party? Or do I just invite everyone? And I just thought the way that was written was really articulate. And then the way that they were like showing the her different friends that she was talking about, kind of interacting, I thought was cool.
It is too. It still stresses my husband out. Like whenever I have gatherings, I just invite everybody. And I do know people from a lot of different things. You do too. It's just the way it is. And I don't segregate. I just be like, I'm inviting everybody because they're my friends. And sometimes friends from other places meet each other and they become friends. Sometimes they don't, and that's fine, but that's not my business. Like, like it's not my job. Like, if you want to come and be around these people, great. If not, that's okay too. But it stresses Troy out. It's to mix friend groups.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that stress, but I'm the same way. I'm just like, well, just be friends now. Ta-da.
I mean, or not.
Or not.
I mean, that's fine too.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially in cases where there's a lot of people. People can figure it out.
Like, hello, my New Year's Eve party. I've invited everybody. Now I'm stressed for this upcoming. I got a caterer though. Locked him in.
That was smart.
Locked him in because I'm like, I'm not doing it. And I might be working on New Year's Eve.
Day.
So, yeah, during the day because obviously they're not open at night. But I was like, I just want to not have to worry about it. And like the whole everybody brings stuff did not work out well last year. Tonight it was like 7,000 bags of chips. So like,
right. I might still bring chips. Why not?
But you don't have to. We're gonna have a caterer. Done.
Caterer done. I love it.
Done and done. All right.
All right. I also said how easy it was to get fake IDs back in that time.
I had like 3.
Yeah. Or use other people's.
I had a friend of mine's license because she like thought she lost it and got another one or something like that. You used to be able to use a safety pin. This is so stupid.
Can't do it now. Disclaimer.
And you could lift up you remember it used to have like that plastic thing, and you could use an eraser and a pencil and mess with the date and then put it back. Now, it would only work for me sometimes. It would only work sometimes. And then my stepsister, I do not look anything like her, but I had one of her IDs. I don't even remember how I got that. That one worked more because I just had to try and look like her, which I didn't.
Right.
And then I had one other one.
I never had one made for me. I just had someone else's.
Yeah.
Someone who got like a new one or something. But she was 5'2", and I'm 5'7", and in college I'm probably in like wedge platforms too. So I was probably 5'9", 5'10". And usually, because our faces were similar, we had the same color hair, the same color eyes, and I looked like I could be 21. It's not like, oh my gosh, who's this 12-year-old? But like, one time someone was like, you're not 5'2", and I was like, whoop, just like took it back. I was like, bye, because I was afraid they were going to keep it.
But you know, back then too, they didn't
care that much.
There wasn't as many legal repercussions as there were now.
Yeah,
because I swear, it used to be like, well, they had an ID. Like
that kind of could be what they could fall back on.
But now you have to scan it and all
your
the
ID. Yeah, now it's a whole thing.
So sorry, generations, we ruined it for you guys now.
We sure did.
Like, now it's incredibly difficult. I mean, you can still get them, but it's and people be going to jail. So not that didn't happen then. It did, but I got kicked out of a few bars for having fake IDs. And
they just tell you to leave.
Mostly what I got mine for, what I had my fake IDs for, it was because I was 17 when I went to college, was so I could just go out and buy cigarettes because I was a smoker at a young age, which is so stupid.
Don't do it.
That's my biggest thing. I wish I could go back and be like, knock that shit out of my hand. Like, be like, don't do that. Come on.
Well,
gross. And now smoking is like coming back. Did you see this?
I did.
What? What are we doing? We're going back to the early 90s. Crazy thinness and smoking.
I'm fine with the fashion, but the crazy thinness is
and the
scary.
Smoking. What are we doing?
And the smoking.
And the tanning? The tanning is like a thing?
Oh, well, not in my house.
Well,
that's
me either.
Something you get in big trouble for. Because that's something I wish I could go back and
oh God,
change.
Same.
Oh, anyway.
Okay, so interesting thing rewatching My So-Called Life because I won't say all, but a lot of girls were like totally in love with Jordan Catalano. But y'all, he is actually a dick. Like, he is actually a dick. Like,
in the show.
And I'm remembering more things now that are going to happen in later episodes. I'm like, why did we all like him? Like, what? Our generation is so fucked up. And it's because of things like this. We were in love with Jordan Catalano and he was the wrong choice.
Why. Yeah.
But he's a perfect example of what is wrong with our generation loving toxic guys.
Yep. I mean, obviously he's good looking.
Well, that's what I mean.
There's like an allure, but it's like there's nothing, at least so far, and we'll see in coming episodes, very like alluring about him in a sensitive kind of guy way. It's all kind of like walled.
He's a dick.
Meanness.
Yeah. He's a dick. And then, speaking of being a dick, this dad. Let's talk about the dad.
Oh, her dad? Angela's dad?
Yes.
Okay.
Talking to his brother in his kitchen.
I wrote the same thing.
While his family, like his wife literally just walked upstairs.
I said, would you tell your brother this stuff in the kitchen? Now, the part then at the end where he's on the phone, I had the same thought, but you got to remember there's no cell phones and stuff.
Well, I know, but still.
So that was a little more like, but also like maybe wait till the next morning when everyone's
walking around on the phone by the staircase.
Like, yeah, I can't do this, blah, 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 blah. So, and then he sees that Angela sees him.
Right.
Well, first of all, when they were eating dinner and Neil was there, I wrote, who is Neil? And then like I go, oh, okay. That's what I wrote down. Because I was like, are they introducing a brother like Angela's brother second episode? And then we realize he's
they talked about him before.
They talked about him, but I don't think they said his name.
They did.
Oh, they said Neil? Oh, okay.
But I was like, note card.
Yeah, that's the note. That's the missing note card.
Just kidding.
I'm all confused.
Just kidding.
I like him though. And then, when the mom calls herself Amish mom, she's like,
yeah,
I won't have fun. I won't sing. I won't dance. I won't wear makeup. I won't cut my hair. I'll just be Amish mom.
I know, but I feel for Patty.
I agree. I thought it was hilarious.
I feel for her on so many of these episodes, and it's so funny. Like I said last time, it's funny to watch this from a parent point of view now of a teenager because, like, I get it. Like, she seems pissed off and grumpy the whole time because she's fucking tired. Like, she's working full time and still trying to do all the mom things. And teenagers are just hard.
Yeah.
and her marriage, she's trying to, she's been with the same guy since high school, like all these things. Anyway.
She's trying.
All right. Anything else for this episode?
All I said was when the dad said cliches happen. I'm trying to think what part
He's talking about the affair.
Oh, yeah. And Neil says, you're such a cliche. And he goes, well, cliches happen. And that is true.
I know.
I just thought it was a good line. Nope. Moving on. Note card down.
Didn't mean to drop it on the back?
No, I told you I wasn't going to write on the back. That's where I draw the line.
Did you watch episode 4?
Yeah, I watched it, but I must have left the note card at home.
Oh, bless. Okay.
Yeah.
So moving on to season 1, episode 3, we're going to have probably a lot to talk about on this one. This one's titled Guns and Gossip. Who sang that song?
I don't know. I feel like maybe like a metal group, but I don't know. Someone's going to be like, it was Britney Spears.
Google it really quick because I feel like we've been messing so much stuff up.
Guns and Gossip. Okay. Why don't you read the summary to all?
I will.
I look that up.
So here's the summary of this episode. A rumor flying through the high school that Angela went all the way with Jordan Catalano reaches Patty and Graham. We didn't even talk about the whole stuff that happened in the car.
It says it's not a song. Okay, so maybe not all of them are. It's the 3rd episode of the first season of My So-Called Life.
So your theory was incorrect.
My theory was incorrect. It said you might be thinking of a song with a similar name like Guns N' Roses. What?
See, that's AI. It's going to be bullshit. Get off the AI.
But even off of it, it's not.
I have a confession to make.
Guns and Ships is from Hamilton. Not the same. Go on.
My confession is I used AI the other day.
Why, my friend?
And I hate it. I did it on accident. This was actually embarrassing and a confession. So I used to be in a book club, but I could never go to the meetings. And it got to be too many people. And it was just, I had to stop going. My friend Margaret was also in that book club. Same thing for her. It just never lined up. It was just, anyway. So I said, well, what if just you and I have our own book club? It's 2 people. Book buddies is what we call it.
Book buddies. I love that.
And she lives down the street from me. So it's much easier for the 2 of us to figure. I mean, it's hard for us to figure out a day, but when it's just 2 people that live on the same street, it's much easier.
Yeah.
To be like, okay. So we were getting together to talk about our book. And I we usually look up questions, and usually the publisher has questions or somebody.
Right, like to guide you.
I could not find any good ones. And so I was like searching and searching, and this book has been out since 2020.
Oh.
And so I was looking, and then I found some good ones. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, this is AI. And Troy was like, Danny, I think
it's sneaky.
That's a pretty, I said, but these were actually good questions. He's like, well, I think that's probably an acceptable use of AI to have book club questions to talk about a book. And I'm like, no, but I just used it. But I'm totally going to use these questions.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I mean, you were looking for questions anyway. It's not like you are writing the book and asking it to write for you. So it's collecting all the good questions that are already out there for you.
Well, I had to give Margaret uses AI all the time. She is a psychologist, okay? And she uses it, and she's also like a teacher in grades paper. Anyways, she uses it, she said, for mostly like admin stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She said it helps her feel more human because it takes away like data work.
The automation.
You know? And
which I get.
Her and I were talking about it, and she's like, well, I only use Claude. And I was like, what the world is this? So she gave me this whole lesson and this whole thing. And I said, I still don't like it. She gave me all the praises and all the things. I still am leery about AI, guys, but that's okay.
But you're willing to listen, which I think is a step away from where you were 6 months ago.
No, I'll listen to my friend talk about it, but I'm not going to listen to some wahoo.
Maybe you'll be ready to talk to Tom St. Marie about it.
No, absolutely not Tom St. Marie.
Because he tried.
No, he told me I'll have a whole conversation. I said, that's okay, Tom. I'm not going to like it. But also Tom be using it to make like funny pictures of people playing poker. Okay. He knows what I'm talking about. Ask him about it.
Okay.
All right. Anyways,
moving on.
That's not changing the world or helping your brain grow.
There you go.
So before we jump onto this one, we didn't talk about her using Brian Krakow to have Jordan come to her house.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
That was so fucked up.
Right over that.
Well, and that's why I wrote Jordan Catalano as a dick. Like he tried to just jump in and make out with her, and then shove his hand up her skirt.
Yeah, which I was glad she was like, "What?"
She was like, "Whoa!" Like have some like build up. But then the thing that's stupid is she still has a crush on him after he tries to like basically get in her pants in 2 seconds.
Right.
This is what's wrong with us.
That should have been like red flag.
Like absolutely not.
And ender.
Like no excuse, sir.
No excuse.
No excuse, sir.
Sorry, sir.
So that's what we have to talk about because this comes up in this episode. All right. Okay. So first thing I wrote was I love all the 90s clothes and makeup and hair because their high school was totally my high school. Like I was in high school at this exact time, and that is what people look like.
100%.
That is what they look like.
I totally agreed. It did feel very like, and again, this is what we talked about on the first episode of this, how they really tried to make it like of the times, but not like Clueless or 90210 or whatever. Like it was very much like this is what people look like right now at this age. This is what they're wearing. These are kind of the different cliques of people. And I thought the same thing. Oh, I don't know why I wanted to know this, but do you like JFK? I wrote that down. Like
what?
When they were showing
do I
JFK,
like JFK?
And she's like, oh, everyone remembers where he was. And then I was like, I don't know if Danny is a JFK fan or not.
I've never thought about if I am a JFK fan.
Well, there's the people that are like, oh, he was the best or he was so handsome. And then there's the people that are just like, he sucked and who cares?
I don't think I have a huge opinion. I mean, I think he did some great things, but I mean, he was a politician through and through.
I was thinking about this time too. JFK Jr. was really big in the late 90s before his death.
Him and
like who he was dating and like, because he was very good looking too.
Yeah.
So
their whole family.
He was like a heartthrob at the time. So anyway, it just made me.
You know who I did love was Jackie O.
I
know, too. And bless her because
I loved her, and she was like a writer and editor. I loved her too.
Do you like JFK?
That's what it says.
Why
in fact, it said Junior. I had to scribble it out. Because I was like, I don't mean
any
Junior.
of the Kennedys. Do we like them?
Do we like them?
I mean, did he do great things? Yes. Was it tragic what happened to him? Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like everybody has some things that, are problematic.
Agree.
But I don't know enough. I'm not educated enough on the ins and outs to thoroughly have a good discussion about it.
Okay. Maybe later. Okay. Moving on to the actual episode. Well, JFK was in the episode briefly.
Yeah. This was a crazy one.
Passing the notes.
I
said, do kids even need to do that now?
No, they just text.
They just text each other in class.
Man, can I tell you how many times I got in trouble for passing notes? and the dreaded moment when your teacher would read it out loud.
Oh, yeah.
That happened to me all the time.
Ooh. Yeah, that happened to me too.
All the time, guys. I was always chit-chatting and passing notes. Always. Yep. I told you about the teacher who would always make me sit in the hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I was just curious. And then they're all passing this. I remember writing notes to specific people and passing it, but they were doing more like passing the note to literally everyone in class. I guess maybe I just don't remember that, but it happened. Or all the notes were about me, so they never passed it to me because everyone hated me.
Oh my God.
That was probably it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure.
That's probably why.
I'm sure.
I looked up when Columbine was because I knew this was pre-Columbine because this episode's very heavily about guns in schools.
Yeah.
And it was April 20th, 1999. Mm-hmm. So this was several years before. And it was just so mind-boggling.
I know.
To A, watch this, hear like what the parents were saying, what the kids were saying, what the principals were saying, and to know we're in 2026 and it's worse than ever.
Yeah. Well, and I wrote down gun in school. Remember when that wasn't a normal occurrence? Honestly, it was hard for me to watch this.
Mm-hmm. It was really hard
because like it was like this was such a controversial episode when it came out. I remember. And I'm like, God, remember like when that was not like that was unfathomable to think anybody would be on school property with a weapon at all.
Right.
And there was no, like, you could just walk on a school campus at any time, any whatever.
Doors weren't locked, no metal detectors, no, person checking your ID before they let you in kind of thing.
And now, I mean, our kids are doing fucking active shooter drills constantly. And it's like, our country is worse now with gun violence and with gun control stuff than they were then. And I don't care what you fucking tell me. That's what I think. And that's what I mean,
I think that the facts would back that up. You know?
And I mean, I just like, I just don't, it was really hard to watch this one.
It was really difficult. Did you ever have a gun scare at school that you remember? Was there ever a weapon? I remember
people would bring knives.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember there being a lot of fights when I was in middle school. High school, there were some, but like guns weren't the thing. It was knives. I don't know why I remember that.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, because those were easy to get.
I know there were some gangs at the high school I went to. Not like a huge problem necessarily, but they would do, by the time I was in high school, so that was like 97 on, they would do like random locker searches for things
we had
like
that.
weapons, drugs, all the above.
Had that.
And I think they would find weapons occasionally.
They would bring dogs to our school sometimes too to snuff out drugs.
Same.
I used to panic because sometimes I'd have cigarettes in my backpack. They don't smell those.
They don't smell those. They don't care about those. Yeah, so I was just curious. I did say the same thing. I said it was really hard to watch.
Yeah.
And what Patty was saying, that whole part about, well, don't all kids deserve safety? Don't all kids of all... Because she was like, maybe we should do a private school. And he's like, oh, with what money? Kind of this normal conversation that,
that
parents would have.
Yeah.
And she was like, kind of like, shouldn't say this, but kind of like, no, fuck that. Like, they should be able to go to their school and be safe.
You should be. Well, and people always are, I've heard this from so many people. Are like, well, my kid's in private school, so blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, great, but that doesn't solve the problem. You're actually contributing to the problem because you're just saying, well, I have the money and the privilege to pay for my kids to do this and that. Meanwhile, public schools suffer because you're not helping to improve them. You're just removing yourself from the equation and saying, well, it's not my problem now.
Yeah.
And that's the way of thinking that America is known for. It's individualistic thinking.
Individualism.
Fuck the communal society. Like, honestly, that's what sucks about trying to have any kind of improvement in public schools is because so many people, depending on the area too, are like, well, that's not for me. Oh, my kids aren't in school, so I don't have to worry about it. But you should care about your community. You should care about the people in your community. And public schools are for everyone. So, go Patty.
That's true. I did like Ryan's mom.
You mean Rayanne?
Rayanne. Oh, why did I say Ryan? I wrote it maybe because of the way I wrote it. Rayanne's mom.
Yeah.
And I liked how they set that up. How they kind of show this lady, this kind of boisterous lady, and Patty's kind of watching her like, I kind of like her. And then right before she speaks, he says, we need you to say your student's name. And so right away she's like, Rayanne, whatever. And I was like, oh, that was a really good setup.
Yeah.
And she's a riot.
I know.
I love her.
I know.
And then Patty, of course, then outside, Patty's like, oh, I liked what you said. My daughter's Angela. And she's like, oh my God, Angela and Jordan. And Patty's face is like, huh?
What do you mean? Yeah. But isn't that so like having teenagers sometimes?
It is.
What are you even talking
about?
Like
their friend's mom knows all about this thing and
Nothing.
Like you know zero. You don't even know who Jordan is. But that is so. That is
teenage life.
I feel for you because that's probably even more so for boys.
I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing.
At least I hear my girls kind of talking to each other. Or if I like say something to them like, wait, what do you mean about this? They will just say.
I know nothing.
But yeah, with boys, I can't imagine.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible, but whatever. Like it is what it is. Okay, so I wrote down introductory kisses, what Angela talks about.
Yes.
But then I said, but those were ones she didn't even consent to, most of them.
Right. She doesn't even bring that up. Like she should have said, we didn't have sex because he tried to kiss me and I pushed him off.
Well, she was talking about introductory kisses, the ones she talked about in the beginning of the episode. Oh. And I said, but those are ones she didn't even ask for or consent to.
Right.
Or didn't even want. Like she even talked about the ones she had that she didn't want.
Right.
Like and then Jordan forcing himself upon her in the car.
Right. Right. Yeah, I didn't think that was a correct framing of that.
Yeah.
At all.
Oh, and then the rumor. Okay, let's talk about the rumor.
Yeah.
The thing I wrote because I've been on the flip side of this thing where there's been a rumor passed around and the boys are acclaimed and it's not even thought about and the girls are shunned.
Sure.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Plus, it didn't even happen. That's the thing that sucks is when you know that it wasn't true, but you're the one being like ostracized for it, and they're just going about their life just fine, or sometimes high-fived about it, and you're like, that didn't even happen.
Right.
And hello?
And yes, the shunning part, but also the part that I think they did really well in this episode is then the extra attention she starts getting for it. I'm doing this in air quotes, people that are listening, in a good way, right? The guys who are now interested in her.
Yeah.
And that's gross too.
It is gross.
And she does say that.
Yeah.
Like when Rayanne's like, oh, like he said hi. She goes, he's never said hi to me before.
Right.
Why is he saying hi to me now?
Gross.
And so that side of it, I think as you get older and away from like some of these situations, I hadn't thought about in a while.
Yeah, me either.
That side of it is not fun either.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, none of it is a good time.
No, none at all.
And then I put, oh my God, when she's laying on her bed blasting the Cranberries and dramatically, I was like, oh my God, how many times was that all of us as a teenager in the 90s?
I know.
Like, mine was Pearl Jam. That was my go-to.
Love that.
I used to listen to Nothing Man or Better Man 800 times from Vitalogy, and those who know. But I used to just lay there and I would put them on the repeat on my little CD player, and my mom would be like, turn that down. And I'd be like crying, contemplating life, and oh my God.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah, when the Cranberries song came on, like when we watched Dawson's Creek, some of that music had been replaced. Are we operating under the assumption that these are all the original songs?
I think so. So far.
Okay. I think so too. I mean, they sound great.
The show is older
and they're
Dawson's.
of the time.
Yeah.
So maybe they were able to keep all the original music.
Yeah. I mean, it is a few years older.
That's true.
I don't know.
Well, that's good. And then the mom sex talk at the end when towards the end when she's like, well, if just that very awkward.
The sex talk. I hate the sex talk.
And Angela's just like, oh my God, Mom, don't talk to me about this. And
most kids don't want to talk
and
to
what
their
does she say?
about.
She's like, I'm not having sex to an embarrassing degree. I loved that. I was like, and that was kind of the thing that won her mom over. Like, oh, I think she's telling the truth,
Listen, I am not a chill. I don't like those sex talks with your kids. It's just, first of all, your kids don't want to even picture you ever having anything to do with that. You don't want to picture your kid having anything to do with that. And it's just, when you're opposite genders too, it's also just a whole thing. Like, it is a whole thing, and I hate it. Once my kids turn a certain age, I just say, here, go talk to your dad. I'm lucky I can do that because I do not have the same mechanics you have. And I don't know. So
I don't know. So go talk to this other informed person.
But listen, that on a different note, that principal, speaking of the adults on the show, he's kind of an intimidating ass.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really like him at all. Maybe we're not supposed to.
I didn't like him in this episode. I don't know if he'll be back, but
no, he is.
He's back.
Recurring.
He's recurring. Okay,
character.
so we'll see. And then even before the gun goes off and shoots the soda or whatever, we see a glimpse of Ricky being harassed for being different, right? For whatever. And we only see a glimpse of it, but then we see it again throughout. And also the bullies that we see up close when Rayanne comes in and like tells them to go away and basically offends them. They were like really big and old.
A lot of the extras are really big and old. Like, have you not noticed that?
Did you notice one was in a trench coat?
No.
That freaked me out. I was like, that is weird as hell.
I didn't notice that.
But yeah, I was like, they're really old.
A lot of the extras in this show, like even that first episode where she's walking down the hall, I was like, why is that dude 45?
Yeah,
like,
that's weird.
What are we doing?
Yeah, okay. So I didn't imagine that.
Yeah, no.
But just that like that still happens, obviously, those things. But, you know, we're talking about the time of like Matthew Shepard and all that stuff, where I think as a society, we started to really notice how dangerous it is to admit that, you know, you're not cisgender or, you know, heterosexual or whatever. That I remember being that age and just thinking, well, no big deal. Like, let people be who they are. And even having friends who maybe felt that way that confided in me, and even to myself wondering, well, why don't they just say they are? And then you're reminded of things like that still happen.
I know.
And I think it was brave at the time that this came out for them to lean into that.
Well, and we talked about this last episode. He was the first gay teen on primetime TV. Not only the first gay teen, he also was the first gay teen of color.
Right.
So you know, that is a big deal. And that was a very important thing for them to do in this show, because it gave like he said in that interview, like kids were able to see themselves in Ricky and feel like, okay, even if they weren't ready to express themselves as their true self, they were like, okay, but somebody else is doing it. So I'm not weird. I am okay.
Right. Like maybe one day I'll be able to step out like that too.
He you see him putting on makeup like the first episode, and you know, borrowing Angela's clothes, and like, well, you see that. I mean, they intertwine clothes or whatever. So I don't know. I for 1994 or 95, this was a groundbreaking thing. Unfortunately, we still have to deal with a lot of like.
Absolutely. And that's what I mean. Like, I don't want to say, oh, it's like better now, but I do think that remembering like how bad it maybe was for people our age back then.
And there wasn't representation.
That too.
I mean, there was some, but not enough, and not a lot in mainstream culture. And that was back in the time where we did have that like monolithic cultural experience for the most part in entertainment. And now we have so many avenues. And it's interesting because my new job, I work with people who are a lot younger than me. And we were talking about something the other day, and you know, a lot of them are part of the LGBTQ community, and we were just talking about, like, they were talking about their coming of age, and you know, they all came of age in the internet. And I said, you know, speaking from the old person thing here, I said, with all the crappy things that the internet brings, I said, I think something that is good of it, because they were all saying like when they were younger they would look stuff up and it would make them feel better, you know. And I said, for that, the internet is a great resource. And I said, also, your generation and my kids' generation, I said, I'm so grateful y'all have a language for just the words to say the things you're feeling.
Yes.
That we didn't have, and we didn't even know it could be possible to have words for it. You just thought you were weird, or like something was wrong with you.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to hear perspective from other people who don't know what, like, of course, there's still like societal prejudices and hatred and stuff, but there's language now that we didn't have.
Totally.
So anyway,
that is a good point. That is a great point.
Anyway.
Okay, I don't have anything else on this episode.
The only thing I wrote was Brian. He said, I've thought about it for like 50 hours. When he was talking about like how to handle like
seeing Ricky and
I thought about it for like 50 hours. It was just such a teen thing to say.
Yeah.
I just wrote it down. I was like, that was funny.
That's like when my kids are like, I only slept for 8 hours. I'm so tired. And I'm like, go away.
I've thought about it for like 50 hours. Okay, well.
That's percentage-wise of your life. A smaller amount.
But for a teen, that's a lot. You know?
That's what I mean.
Okay, so moving on to the episode that Katie doesn't have a note card for. Let's see what she remembers. We're going to test her. Season 1, episode 4 is entitled Father Figures. So Graham gives Angela 2 coveted tickets to a Grateful Dead concert in a misguided effort to win back her approval. Now, we haven't talked much about the affair stuff.
No, we haven't.
Because, well, he didn't have the affair.
He didn't. Yeah, he called her the day before they were supposed to meet and whatever.
Right.
Consummate the affair? I don't know. Because he said they were like talking and stuff, but nothing physical had happened. And canceled. At least to this point, that's where we are.
Right.
But Angela kind of heard him on that call.
Yeah. So she's being weird. So he's like, Angela's being weird towards me. And does he really not know?
Right. She heard him on the phone.
I know, he saw her. I know. Like, I was like, does he really not know? I couldn't figure that out. But the funny thing was, I wrote the kitchen phone with the long wire. Remember those?
Love that. Yeah.
You know what I saw the other day? It was like yesterday. People are buying these things to hook their cell phones into at their house. So they're like a landline. So when they're in their house, it's like a little thing holder you put on the wall and you plug your phone in and it has a cord. So you can only use your phone in your house like a landline.
Get out of here. Is it that just to keep it charged or something?
No, it's so you're not on your phone. It's so if you have to use it, you have to go to it and be purposeful.
That's really funny.
I was laughing. I was like,
then get a landline. Well, it doesn't do everything a phone does now. So I'm going to look that up. It's
hilarious.
Me.
Look it up. I just saw it yesterday. I was like, what? That's like a thing now? Anyway, I just remember like walking all around down the hall and like trying to shut yourself in somewhere. Like before I had a phone in my room. Because I remember when I got a phone in my room, all bets were off. Like,
oh, yeah.
You never
me
saw
too.
Me.
Just
never saw me
on the phone.
Also, remember having actual tickets on paper?
Yes.
That you like go somewhere and buy it, and also paper, how they're filling out income taxes.
Yes.
Can you imagine doing that now?
I remember my mom would help during tax season at like local tax places because she was good at like keeping books. And sometimes she would work at home and she would literally just have like people's tax stuff and forms and like, and then just doing taxes like for our family and for my dad's business. It was like a full
up,
to be fair, even when I do mine online now,
oh, yeah.
it's like a full table of all the things. But like, I just remember, handwriting.
You don't have a CPA?
Sometimes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We just, as soon as we moved here and we bought a house and I opened my LLC, I was like, that's it, we're done.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
We just pay somebody and it's worth every penny.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not to get too in the weeds on it, but I've worked for myself for so long. I, for the most part, could always do ours because I was like a sole proprietor. It's a little different now, like when I was freelance writing and stuff.
Still, though.
So I'm good at it, but it's a lot of work.
It's so much. I just don't want to do it. I want to show up in her office for an hour.
Yep.
Hand her the stuff. And she even, the first time we went to her, because we've been going to her since we moved here. First time we went to her, she's like, well, I should look at your old like return and see if there's any money y'all could have claimed. And there was. So.
Hey,
well, because we also have veteran stuff.
Yeah.
And we have like, it's a little tricky. And plus when we first moved here, like half the year we lived somewhere else, half the year he was active duty, half the year it was like a whole mess. So it would have taken us. So I just.
Yeah.
Listen,
No.
I am at that age. I told Troy, we're like, my sister and I were talking about this the other day. We're at that age and income level now, which we never thought we'd be at, where it's like, if there's a task that we don't like, we have a little bit of money. It's where we don't have to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, and the taxes is one that works.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Like, if we have a little extra money, here you go.
Yes.
Like,
handle this for us.
Like, and if there's a refrigerator breaks, are we going to look it up on YouTube? No. I'm going to call the refrigerator repairman.
Most of the house stuff I'm the same on. Some of it I can do. When my dad was here, he did a couple little repairs for us that, you just get used to it. Like he was like, what's going on with your ceiling right there? And I was like, oh yeah. He's like, I can fix that. And like, thank you. And then like, I don't know, just one or two. Oh, we had like a hook down from our towels that was just sitting on the bathroom sink.
Oh yeah, you just be like, whatever.
He's like, I could rehang that. But
Great.
What's funny is every time he goes to fix something, he says, I'll do it. And he makes Brant help him. And this has been going on since we got married.
I love this.
And Brent's like, your dad's trying so hard. And Brent helps him. But like, he's like, come on, son, we're going to hang up this towel hook. And Brent's like, okay. And so it's like, they got like a stud finder. They're like doing all the things. And then he was fixing this little patch on our ceiling. So he's like, here you go. You're taller than me. You get up on that ladder. And here's what you got to do. And I was like, I'll take care of mom. Mom and I will just sit in the living room. You know, it's just like really funny.
So funny.
But most home stuff.
Your dad was like a contractor, right?
He knows how to like do stuff. He does know how.
Troy and I know how to do shit. And nobody taught us how to do stuff. So we don't know how to do anything. Like, we don't know. Like, and sometimes Troy will try, and there's some things he can do and figures out. But I will never forget. I don't know if he'll be mad at me for he doesn't listen to all our episodes. Probably isn't listening to this one. One time he tried to change his own oil in this truck he had, but it was like some kind of weird thing in this truck. And he drained it all the fluid out. So he never tried to, because he used to change his oil in his older car all the time, but it was like a newer car. And like he thought he knew what he was doing, and it was a mess. And I was like, how about you just go on down to the Jiffy
my
Lube?
husband's the same. Like, he's like, my dad didn't teach me stuff because my dad just hired people to do everything.
Well, Troy's dad knew how to do stuff. He just wasn't patient and didn't teach him how to do anything.
He just did it and moved on.
Like, he used to restore cars and stuff for fun, and he didn't teach Troy how to do anything.
Right.
So there
you go. Well, thankfully,
anyway, moving on.
There are people in society who do know how to do these things.
Thank God.
Taxes and fixing
trades
things
will never end.
Never,
because
you cannot
you're always
AI that nonsense. No. You cannot.
No.
All right, moving on.
So I put the Heidi Fleiss reference was funny because that was so of the times.
So
if you don't know what that is, look it
up. Forever.
I put people smoking in the diner.
Oh yeah,
when she went to meet with her dad,
that was still a thing. I mean,
that was that last era. That was the last era.
It was like probably by 2000 that started to go out.
Smoking and non-smoking, and which was so funny because there was usually not even a wall,
no.
So you could sit like I can remember like in the Applebee's, like going to, because I used to smoke, so we would go sit in the smoking section, and then like literally right behind you, no partition,
is where non-smoking starts.
So all the smoke would just like go over there. So stupid. I mean, I still remember ashtrays on airplanes.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine smoking on an airplane?
No.
But people did.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross. Okay, anyway, so fun fact, this is the episode the show creator had her cameo. She was the guidance counselor that came in.
She was?
Yeah. That's when
You told me that. That she was going to do that, but I didn't put that together when I watched it.
This was her episode, so that was her. That was
really?
her. What else did I keep saying, do you have any notes? No, because should I record?
Well, there's one I thought of.
Okay.
Which is when the dad is talking to the mom. So he's talking to Patty, and he's like saying how like he feels like Angel doesn't like him anymore or whatever. And she's like, no, she's just knocking you off your pedestal.
Right.
Which is her right. And also like I should do, kind of. You know what I mean? Like she's like, he kind of telling him like, you're sort of being a big baby about this. It's not really about being liked. And also she's starting to have her own thoughts about the world, and it's okay for her to question you.
Well, and also your job as a parent is not for your kids to like you.
And I think she was impatient about it.
I mean, unpopular opinion, but it's not. Like, your job is not to be your kid's friend. It is to raise your child to not be an asshole in the world and take care of them and make sure they're safe and, you know.
Right. And let them develop into who they want to be safely.
Fun fact, teenagers don't generally like their parents most of the time.
Most of the time, no.
Fun fact.
I told my teen today, before she walked out, that I was like, oh my gosh, she looks so gorgeous. She's, shut up, leave me alone.
Oh,
I can't believe I have to wear this.
Standard.
She had to wear her uniform to school. Her cheerleading uniform, which is adorable. And I was like, get out of here.
We were talking about this, not just with your kids, but all teenagers in general.
Mm-hmm.
The awkward phase of teens for most of them. I mean, some of them are still experiencing them as they should. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I'm talking mostly about girls because boys just can't do much. They just look.
But
these girls with their makeup tutorials and their hair tutorials and their Sephora trips, listen, we had the CVS and Teen Magazine, and we looked a mess. And these girls do not look a mess.
They do not.
It's bullshit.
They do not. I'm going on my 3rd out of 4th going through it, and I'm like, where's the stringy hair, the blotchy skin, the weird outfit,
the foundation that don't match your face.
None.
The orange line here.
They all just look like supermodels all the time, and their friends. Now, my 4th one, we'll see. She's not a teen yet.
Doesn't matter. She'll be the same.
But she's a little more like embracing the like not those things yet.
Well, she will.
But that'll probably change in the next year, probably.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
That's just how all kids are. Anyway, so I wrote this. When we were young, we wanted the Jordan Catalanos, but when we got older, we realized the Brian Krakows were the best choice. I think I said that the first episode, but I'm saying it again because that's true.
Like, I've been thinking it, watching it.
Literally.
I'm like, oh, he's definitely like my type, Brian. He kind of looks like my husband would have at that age.
He does a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think Brant was like nerdy.
He wasn't. He's very smart, but he was not nerdy.
Right.
He was kind of a Jordan Catalano in personality.
Yeah. I could see that too.
And still kind of is. What are we going to do? I don't know. I think I was talking to my son about it because, sons and dads sometimes have little tussles. And I was like, because he said something about, well, dad doesn't like change his mind about stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I said, he's changing though. Like when you're married to someone for a long time.
You have to
I was like, as he's getting older, he is softening. And my son actually agreed. He's like, you're right. And I was like, things he used to be really stubborn about, he's not. And it's like anyone, as you age, you start to care less about stuff.
Well, I've realized
the opposite.
You either, as you get older, you either become a lot more open-minded and laid back about things, or you go the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have one train of thought in that direction and then one train of thought in that direction. Like you can become more uptight about certain things.
That's
and then
true.
Way more casual and laid back about other things.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. Like as I got older, like I have become so much like my best friend Amber was like, we've gone on trips together like once a year for like almost 10 years. And I used to be like so uptight and like super plan everything and like not spontaneous or go with the flow. And that now we just go and she's like, who are you? Like, I don't know who you are. Like, I'm just like, it's fine, whatever. It's fine. I'm like, I'm telling you, the older I get, the more I'm just like, meh.
Well, you're going to have fun and you guys are usually going somewhere that's got lots of options.
And also like, it doesn't matter. Like, there are things now that I'm like, who cares? Like I used to be so worried about having makeup on all the time and my hair fixed when I was younger. And obviously that's not the case.
Look at me.
And now it's like but don't get me wrong. When I'm going somewhere to go do something, I put on my lashes, I put on my hair and do my thing. I put on the cute clothes. I still do that. But on a day to day, I'm like, who cares? Like I'm going to record a podcast.
Right.
So
that literally billions of people could see if they wanted. I mean, that's how many people are on the earth. Billions, exactly. That is the number.
That's our goal. All the people on the earth.
All the children, everyone.
Okay, so back to the episode. I'm pretty sure IRS audits are not as casual and easy to solve like they did in this episode because the only reason I know this, when my stepdad used to own a pharmacy and they got audited and it was a nightmare. And he ended up owing a lot of money, but it took a long time. It took years.
Oh, yeah.
Literal years for them to get through it all and get a settlement and a payment thing. And it was a mess.
Yeah.
Literal mess. And they were just like, come in my house. How about this? Okay, great. And I'm like, no.
No. Would not be solved in one episode. No.
Absolutely not.
Her relationship with her dad's interesting too. I liked how they set that up in this episode where you've got kind of like Angela and dad and then Patty and her dad. And kind of like the different interactions. I thought that was really interesting.
It is interesting. And I always think too, because we've never lived anywhere like in the same town as any of our family. So I'm always like, it would be so weird to live in a town. I mean, you live here with your husband's family.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've never lived anywhere which is hard, but also sometimes nice because then you don't have those kind of situations where you're like, I have to call dad. Like I gotta like let him know.
I will say like when the kids were small, we also didn't have anyone. His parents were over 2 hours away for most of their childhood. They moved here 2 years ago. maybe 3 now. It's been a few years. And so the kids were bigger. But I will say it's been nice. It has been.
Granted, yeah.
Like as much as, well, I know what you're saying though, but I remember even when the kids were little, if like we would see, not them specifically, but just in general relatives. And, you know, when you've got a lot of small kids at once, it is stressful because they are loud and sometimes they cry and sometimes they're fighting and they're messy and it's like times 5 or whatever.
Of course.
So I couldn't really like relax when we would go visit my in-laws because I was constantly like making sure they weren't like breaking stuff or doing something wrong. And I remember telling my husband like it was just stressful for me to go. Not anything against the people, but it's just easier to be in your own space, you know? But it has been nice having them here. And in fact, they went on like a 2-week trip. And I said to my husband, man, it'll be so nice when they get back. And it was nothing like specific that like we needed them to do or whatever. I was just like, they've been kind of gone a long time and I kind of I miss them. It'll be nice when they're here.
It would be lovely to live by some family. And like, we've never had help with anything ever. So like, I wouldn't even know what to do. Like, it used to make me mad. And I mean, I know like when your kids were small too, you didn't have anybody close by. People used to always like, you need time away without your kids. And I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to do that?
Right.
Like, our family lives across the country. Mm-hmm. And half of them we don't trust with our kids for longer than a few hours. So, like, what do you even mean? Like, I used to make me so mad because like not everybody has that opportunity or like
or the money.
I am having a very interesting moment now because I've always been the default parent, and now I'm working during school hours, and it doesn't help that middle school starts at fucking 9:30.
Oh, it starts too late, guys. Too late.
My youngest is in middle school and he wants to do All-State, and she does these extra practices before school 3 times a week. He has to be there at 8:30. Well, we're gone for work. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I don't know how to tell you to get there. Like, like I can bring you some days, but I can't. I have to be at work at 9:00, which is 40 minutes away. Mm-hmm. Dad has to be at work 30 minutes away.
Could he go early? You don't know. He's going to try to figure that out.
Well, I mean, that's already an hour before school.
Yeah.
So he can't go any. So I said, talk to the people, because there's a pretty substantial group of kids. I said, see if anybody lives around here that can give you a ride. There's some days, like if I'm off.
Some days you can.
Like today, I'm off work, so I could take him. Mm-hmm. And I said, but that's not going to be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Mm-hmm. That's 3 weekdays. And I'm like, this is such a glaring thing to me of like, how do working parents do, like, how do your kids do anything when you don't have family? Like if you have family around that help you, like, oh, grandma will take you. Well, this is why when my kids were small, I couldn't work full time. Yeah. Because Troy was gone all the time.
Right.
So I had to be the one, and they were, you know, Cooper was little and Kaden was in school. And so anyway, all that to say,
it's a good reminder. It makes you think about those things.
Well, it does.
Like,
and
how do people do this?
How do you, like, I mean, I get, and he like, for instance, he wanted to do a thing at your studio. I'm like, I can't get you there. Mm-hmm. Like it goes straight from that job to go to teach my class, and Dad's not home yet. So I cannot get you there. So you can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just life.
I think those are just the choices families have to make. I mean, all families really, and that's but just certainly life. Ones where, you can't do everything.
And I think too, and you'll probably agree with this, our kids' generation is a generation of 800 activities.
Yes, that too.
We didn't have that. Like we had 1 or 2 things we did because most of our parents worked. I know your mom was home for a little while. Yeah. And then went back to work, right? But like, we didn't have parents who transport us places most of the time.
And I remember most of the things I did were school related.
Right.
So you were already there. School.
You were already there, and then they would pick you up after work or whatever. Or carpools were a huge thing.
Carpool were huge.
You know? But when you don't, like,
or
we
the
haven't
school
lived
was
here,
in my neighborhood. Like my youngest, you know, our school, she rides her bike back and forth every day. So like, for example, today she has to stay for like a safety patrol thing. And of course we want to know like what's going on, but she just gets herself home.
Right.
And even when she was younger, she could have done that. But again, not everybody. Even if you're close to your school, it may not be walkable or bikeable.
Yeah, ours is just far enough
that you can't. Yeah.
It's just far enough to where it's not.
Yeah, and all that traffic and
right. I know. No. So we'll figure it out or we won't. And I'm like, look, you're just gonna tell your teacher like. Yeah. But he did say, he said he thinks one girl lives in our neighborhood. So I was like, well, hit her up. Like, hit her up. Anyway, okay. But I will say on the flip side, we're lucky that we made it to this point in parenthood and not had to deal with any of that.
Yeah.
So we are lucky that is.
Totally.
All right. I only have 2 more things and you have nothing. I keep looking at your card like words are going to appear.
Yeah.
I put, why in TV does everyone leave all at the same time in the morning? Which actually relates to what we were just saying.
That's so funny.
Like they all eat breakfast at the same time. They all leave at the same time. Literally everybody's job and everybody's school starts at the same time.
That can't be right.
But do you notice that in TV?
I did notice that. I'm wondering if in this family specifically, since she works for the family business,
I know,
maybe
but
she just leaves when the kids leave.
So the high school, the elementary school.
Yeah. That doesn't really explain that part. You're right.
It made me laugh. And then my last thing was, okay, I have noticed this. And I wrote this for this episode, but then it happens in other episodes. I said, why does Rayanne always be having good life statements? She does, if you pay attention. Like, even... She was saying something about, I couldn't remember exactly how she worded it and I didn't want to rewind it. She said something about that even if the dad is talking to some other lady, he's still the kind of dad who gives you dead tickets.
Yeah.
Like she was just kind of saying like, who cares if he's not perfect? He's still the kind of dad that's like here for you and like gives you like a really cool thing.
Kind of like we were just talking about, like, when someone's complaining about something that they have that you don't have.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, there's a bright side to that.
Yeah.
But then, of course, understandably, Angela is upset with her dad. Well, so, like, you know.
And I don't think she was trying to be like, oh, well. But she was just like, hey, but you need to remember this. Like,
yeah.
He's still the kind of, like, he's not perfect. But he's still the kind of dad that's, like, there for you.
I totally agree.
But you pay attention to Rayanne, guys.
Oh.
Rayanne has some things to say.
So there'll be some more life statements as we go.
Honestly, all the kids in this show, I think, have moments where they say some really good, profound things. And they do it, I think, in a more realistic way than the Dawson's kids.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
It's a little more realistic. And wait till we rewatch Freaks and Geeks.
Oh, I can't wait. Guys, get out of here. It's going to be so fun. I love it.
All right. That's awesome. What else? I keep doing that. That's the 4th time I've done that.
But I get to watch 3 more this week, so I'm very excited.
You better hurry because it's Wednesday and we're recording Friday.
Yeah. I have some time today, actually, and then I have time tomorrow morning. So that's my goal.
3 a.m.
No, like normal morning hours, like 9 to 1.
Whoa, that's a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I have like work I should be doing, but I will try to watch not films. Episodes, EPs. That's what the kids call them, EPs.
That's what the cool kids say.
That's what I heard.
All right. Well, we're done with that. If you're going to rewatch.
We're done. Goodbye.
If you want to keep rewatching, next installment will be 4, 5, and 6.
Yes. Yay. Oh my gosh. And we'll be like a third of the way through it already.
Yeah. There's only 19 episodes total. Yeah. So.
All right, cool. Why am I sitting like this?
I know. We don't know how to handle this table. I was doing that. Whoop. That hasn't happened all episode. I was sitting with my hands folded on my book earlier because it looked like a Bible.
And I was like, what is...
I don't know.
I've never seen you do that before. But that's
okay. Fine.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. Make sure you leave a review wherever you are listening. 5 stars, please. And if you leave a written review, that's even better because the algorithms pick that up and show it to even more people. Make sure that even if you don't want to watch us on YouTube, it's fine if you don't want to. You've at least gone over there and hit subscribe because that also helps other people like you find us. I think that's everything.
That was very official sounding.
It's because I'm sitting like this.
Okay. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.